Hey everybody, Brett Mix here from Macho Wrestling 101, here with another WrestleMania review. Second last WrestleMania to get to in the 1 to 39 anthology. It's number 38, we have night 1 and night 2 to get to, and I'll do both of them in the same video. First, I just want to say, like and subscribe to Macho Wrestling 101, my channel, putting out videos every day, and we talk about the history of wrestling, we talk about the current stage of wrestling, so I really think you'd like the channel. If you're new to it, just hit subscribe, and I think you'll like what's to come. And if you already have hit subscribe, welcome and thank you. We will review WrestleMania 38 right now from Dallas, Texas on night 1. We won't wait anymore. Now that I've plugged the channel, we'll get right to the action. SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It's the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boggs. This one was a pretty good tag team match. Nothing excellent, nothing really all that great, but it was just a simple formulaic wrestling match under the 10-minute mark. It actually went 6:55 when the Usos hit their 1D, pretty much like a 3D on Nakamura for the pinfall at 6:55. Like I said, okay match. It was about 2 stars and a quarter, I'd say. Just your typical wrestling match to get started at a big pay-per-view when they have a quick tag match. It's your standard tag team match to get a pay-per-view going, I should say. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. This was interesting. I'm not too into Happy Corbin, but they've reinvented him a few times, so I'm not going to complain about that. Drew looks as over as can be. He was pretty impressive in this match with his kick-ups and his power moves, his offense. You get the Future Shock DDT and the Claymore after the 3-2-1 at 8:35 for the victory. I give this 2 stars and 3/4. Also, your basic singles match that follows the basic tag team match at WrestleMania. That's kind of what happened here. So that's a fair rating, I believe, for that match. Next up, we go to Rey and Dominic Mysterio against The Miz and Logan Paul. Logan Paul did his heel antics, and he tried to hit the Three Amigos, but then Dominic Mysterio showed him who's boss, and not to disrespect legends, and he's obviously trying to do that to Eddie, while Rey and Dominic just paid tribute. They both hit a 619 at the same time. Miz tagged him. This is when the ending got climatic. The climatic ending got more of a climax to it, because when Dominic was in the head scissors, it sent Paul to the ropes. They hit a double 619, but Miz tagged himself in at the same time and then slammed Dominic into Rey. Miz hit the skull crushing finale on Rey Mysterio at 11:15. So the Miz and Logan Paul sort of sneaked one in after the high spots by the Mysterios. It was a crazy finish to the match. I think this was great. It actually blew my expectations away. I give it 3.5 stars. So yeah, 3.5 stars I think is fair. Next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship match: Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. I wasn't watching Raw around this time this match happened, so I don't really understand the character that Becky's portraying in this match, or maybe in the few months that she had this character. It's like big time Bex or whatever. She has her makeup dripping, and she's evolving, sort of like Seth Rollins, her husband, does. I think it's her husband in real life, fiance if not husband. They evolve into different characters, but it doesn't take her wrestling quality away. She and Bianca have great chemistry. I actually really like this match. Bianca won the women's title after winning the Royal Rumble, and I rate this match 4 stars and a quarter. Belair hit the KOD Kiss of Death slam and covered for the 3 count, and a big pop at 19:14. That's what I love about this match. They give it 20 minutes from WrestleMania, and it didn't disappoint, and they got the winner right. So yeah, a classic women's match there, and the biggest stage of them all. So that's obviously going to be a moment to remember forever for her. Next, we had Cody Rhodes returning to WrestleMania when the American Nightmare hit Seth freaking Rollins. This match blew me away. it was obviously awesome seeing Cody, but then when the match started, it just flowed perfectly. And in the climax, they had the climax seemingly in the middle of the match, so we had kick out, kick out, kick out. It was overbooked, but sometimes overbooked is good, and this is another case where overbooked can be great. I rate this match 4.5 stars. So we just had a 4 stars and a quarter, and then I have 4.5 stars here. I don't give those. If you've been watching my reviews, I don't give those 4 stars very easily. But it was a great match from the start to finish. You really had to give both guys credit. This was Rollins was a workhorse, and Cody fit the bill. I'm not even a big fan of either guy, but yeah, 4.5 stars. Great climatic ending. All the kickouts right after. So many sequences where you think or this is it, but nope. And legit too. Sometimes they do that just to be contrived, and just to try to like put a genuine fake emotion in there. But no, they actually did a solid job of building to a climax that was really entertaining to watch. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's title. We had Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. This one was not as good as the other women's match of the night, even though they almost gave these two ladies 20 minutes. I think Rousey's better suited like the Ultimate Warrior or Goldberg, like in a quick match. But 18 minutes and 30 seconds. She did a good job. Charlotte did a good job too. I can't complain. The Flair tapped out in the match to Rousey, but the referee was on the outside. Rousey got back in, and just reading my notes here, Flair hit a running boot to the face, covered for a 3 count, and Flair won at 18:30. Just try to see what the match time was and how it ended again. Yeah, so that's how Charlotte won at 18:30. And the ref came running back in the ring and a boot to the face, and Flair was covered for a 3 count. This was a stiff match. I think the chops were brutal, not brutal in a overly grotesque way, but the chops were brutal. Like, they were stiff. They were making their marks. I thought both ladies laid it out there, but I'll give it 3.5 stars. So yeah, pretty great match here, but not great as the other Raw Women's Championship match. It's about a star behind that. Then we had the main event of night one with Steve Austin and Kevin Owens. Austin's first match in 19 years. Yeah, he looked a little bit older. Yeah, he wrestled a little bit slower. But damn, how could you not be proud of him for first time in 2 decades, going out there in a brawl and then taking that suplex on the concrete? You have to give it up for him. And you can't really rate this match since it was more of a moment than it was a match. I'd give it 3 stars if I have to rate it. But the effort is 5 stars. You know what I mean? That's why it's hard to rate this match. The effort's 5 stars. Austin coming back to kick ass is 5 stars. Match quality is like a star. But you blend that together. That's how you get 3 stars. So it's a hard match to rate. But Austin won with the stunner. And it's good to see him go out with a victory. I mean, it's nice to put The Rock over in his last match, but it's awesome that he gets to go out in his hometown, in the town that he started to wrestle in and ended to wrestle in. It was more of a storybook ending for him. So yeah, Austin they went all over the arena, back in the ring. Austin won at 13:55. Awesome night of wrestling. We had classics with Bianca Belair. We had the good tag match with The Miz and Logan Paul. There was 3.5 stars. The Charlotte match was 3.5 stars. The Bianca Belair match was 4 stars and a quarter. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins was 4.5 stars. So that's like an 8 out of 10 night, I would say, for night one. So, yeah. Night 2 begins with RK Bro versus the Alpha Academy versus the Street Profits. Sort of all over the place for a little bit, a little chaotic around there in the ring. You have to keep up with the tagging in and out. In the end, we had new tag team champions in RK Bro at 11:30 after the RKO caught Gable out of nowhere. Spectacular finish here. And the match I'd rated about 3 stars and a quarter. It was entertaining. once it got going, you settled in, and just like the opening night of night one, they had a tag match. There's a reason they do these tag matches to open pay-per-views. They get the crowd going, they get the crowd hot. That's what you want. It's what you want to see. Up next, we had Omos versus Bobby Lashley. This the second match after a tag match at a pay-per-view is always a one-on-one powerhouse match. It always seems that way. We had it just the night before with McIntyre and Happy Corbin. It's a single. They always do the tag team fast-paced match, then the singles power match, and then the third match is usually either a classic or another tag team match, or a women's match. That's usually how they've always booked pay-per-views, I've noticed. Anyway, Lashley gets the win. He did a running spear on Omos, and Lashley picked up the victory at 6:35. Good thing this was kept to 6:35, but it actually felt longer than that. I rated it 2 stars. It was a decent enough power man's match. Next up, we had Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville going 1-on-1. This was entertaining. It wasn't meant to be anything more than entertainment. Some pretty decent bumps here by Knoxville. Zayn did a good enough job to keep him in there. I thought it went a little bit too long, but it was entertaining for what it lasted. There's a lot of comedy here, which is, I guess, the main point. I gave it 2 stars and a half. Don't really know how to rate this either. It's not catch-can wrestling or anything here. So it's 2.5 stars, I'd say. Next up, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line with Sasha Banks and Naomi take on Baszler and Natalya versus Queens Zelina and Carmella versus Ripley and Morgan. And this one was a little bit chaotic, just like the men's match that opened night 2. But at 10:50, how did this one end again? Here are my notes. Double team move. Banks covered Carmella for the pin at 10:50. Yes, Sasha Banks' first win at WrestleMania. That's right. The fans were happy with Sasha Banks winning her first match at WrestleMania. Finally, it's a joke that she never had a win before this. She's probably the greatest women's wrestler I've ever seen. But that's just me. Banks with a double knee attack to Vega on the outside. Naomi with a kick to Carmella. To the backstabber to Carmella while Naomi did a slam. So it was a double team move. Banks covered right at 10:50, and that's how they won. Yeah, I gave it 2.5 stars. I could probably bump that up to 3 stars just for Sasha Banks winning, but I won't. I'll keep it with what I thought the match was. 2.5 stars seems good. If I did that with all my favorites, then there would be no integrity to these reviews. So 2.5 stars, but it's nice to see Sasha get the W on the big stage. Edge and AJ Styles got it on. This was an intriguing match, and AJ did his stuff. Edge did his stuff. I'm not gonna say Edge is over the mountain or anything, but he's not quite the same Edge, but at the same time, he hasn't lost his edge. If that no pun intended. If that makes any sense. They gave this almost a half an hour actually. That led to this pinfall at 24:05 when Damian Priest appeared at ringside. Styles jumped off the top rope, and the Edge hit a spear on Styles. So yeah, Edge got the win, and after he was confused by the Damian Priest run-in. Yeah, that's when he was still in the Judgment Day and all that stuff was going on. Like I say, I wasn't watching Raw around this time, so I didn't know, but I did know the connection with the Judgment Day with Edge at the very beginning of it. But yeah, Edge did win, and moving on, I rate that match 3 stars, by the way. Edge and AJ Styles, that's 3 stars. The announced attendance was 77,000, but the graphics said 78,453. So who knows what the correct number is. Next, we had the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. This was nothing much. This was nothing much other than just a quick squash. Sheamus won with the bro kick on Woods, and the Northern Grit slam for the pinfall at 140 by Sheamus. Sheamus and Ridge Holland got the victory. Just TV quality stuff here. Next, they did the Hall of Fame, and the Undertaker came out. Then we have the Mr. McMahon stuff with Austin Theory and Pat McAfee. The Pat McAfee with Austin versus Austin Theory, first of all, was a good match. I thought they did a great job. I thought Austin Theory came to play, and I thought Pat McAfee did an amazing job. Like I said, he grabbed the tights after a roll up at 9:40 for the victory. Good storytelling in this match, a lot of athleticism. Just surpassed my expectations. That's another reason I rated it 3 stars. Yeah, so 3 stars for that match. Next, we had Vince versus Pat McAfee. This is a dud. After Vince teased punting a football, he kicked Vince McMahon in the balls and into Pat's ribs. He kicked the ball into the Pat's ribs. Vince pinned Pat for the fall at 3:45. Sorry, it just ran on words there, made me mumble. Yeah, dud. I'm not sure why a 76-year-old man is going over at WrestleMania, but hey, I guess maybe he wants his last WrestleMania moment. Could be. Stone Cold came down and gave him a stunner, which is great. Then drank with Pat McAfee and then another stunner. So that's awesome. The main event of the night came, and the main event of night 2 came with Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Winner takes all unification match. The champions faced off. We've seen this before, Roman and Brock, but we haven't seen it in the same vein where Brock is the face and Roman's the heel. Even though Roman was pretty much the heel before, but just was being booed as a face. This was much more physical than any of the other matches. This one was more accepted than the other ones. I didn't think this match should go long, and it didn't. It went a really good length, like in the sense of perfect timing for what it was. It went 12:15. I thought that was good. After another F5, Reigns shoved into the ropes and hit a spear for the pinfall for the win. Reigns retained the title and won the Universal title. Or no, he's still the Universal title, but he is the new WWE champion at 12:15. I give this match also 3.5 stars. I also think that it was better than any of the other matches they've had together. Yeah, I also think this is 3.5 stars, just like the last match before, the Pat McAfee match. The Vince McMahon match was a dud, as I mentioned, but yeah, this one 3.5 stars to end the night with Roman as the tribal chief, as one to be acknowledged. We only got one more WrestleMania after this, but first I'll rate this event. For night 1 was 8 out of 10. I give night 2 a 7 out of 10. That's a 7.5 out of 10 on average. So 7.5 out of 10 for WrestleMania 38. We got one more WrestleMania to go in the anthology, but then after that we'll look forward to WrestleMania 40. So WrestleMania 39 is the next one. I hope to see you there. Hit like and subscribe if you like this review and you want to support my channel. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.